Every mission starts with a person, and every person has a story. Join us as we sit with leaders across East and Southern Africa to hear how defining moments planted them firmly in the purpose that drives them. This is Rooted, a podcast from the Leader Collective at Bloodwater. Hi, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Rooted, the podcast. Today's episode, we are meeting with Hermella Wondimu Woldehana, who is a purpose-driven leader who has spent the last decade and a half managing nonprofits and providing strategic vision for social impact. As a co-founder of Drop of Water, she plays a crucial role building and transforming the organization from a university student's local initiative to a nationally recognized NGO in Ethiopia and beyond. Driven by passion and a total surrender to God's calling for her life, she remains committed to improving the quality of life for the people of Ethiopia. Because of her noteworthy leadership, she was selected as one of the Mandela Washington Fellows in 2015. She was awarded the Association of Women in Business's Women of Excellence Award in 2016 and our very own Bloodwater Leader of the Year Award in 2020. Hermella is a master's degree graduate in Sustainable International Development from the Heller School of Social Policy and Management at Brandeis University, and she believes the water crisis can be ended through people working together. It's incredible to have known Hermella for at least a decade now and to see just how much her commitment to servant leadership, her aspirations and vision for a world where water is not inaccessible to anyone is allowing her to continue to positively impact civil society throughout Ethiopia and beyond. And I believe, Hermella, that you are a leader who is destined for continued global impact. So it is an honor to be with you today. It is an honor to know you. I want to introduce to some, but to reintroduce to oh so many who know you already, Hermella Woldehana. Welcome, Hermella.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me, Nadia.
It's so great to see you. It's very early in the morning where you are, yes?
It is. And it's raining outside, so just a cozy morning.
Yeah. Thank you so much for making the time for us to speak today. I know that we spoke a little bit just as setting up the stage for our conversation today, that this first season is all about the seed, the stories of where we begin as mission-driven leaders and how we find ourselves where we are today. So it would be a great honor if you would share with us a little bit about your journey. And for you to be who you are today, you began somewhere many, many years ago. And so we'd love to hear a little bit about who you are, where you are from, and how that has informed and shaped the leader that we now know and see today.
Yeah. So, again, thank you for having me, Nadia. It's such a great platform. And it's always an honor to spend some time with you, and the journey with you has shaped me personally and also the organization in a tremendous way. So
Thank you.
All your dedication and guidance and support you have provided to not only to us only, but to all the partners. So it's a pleasure for me to be here with you. And I was born and raised in a city called Harar in the part of Ethiopia. It's a very ancient Muslim-dominated city, and it's almost like more than 1,000 years old town or a small city. And the city is known as a city of peace, a city of harmony, like people from different background, religion, race, like ethnic group, they come together, they live peacefully, and that's what distinct Harar from other cities. It's a very special place, and I'm so honored that I was born and raised in that environment because it sets me like to love everyone equally without any background, religious or ethnic or any kind of thing. It's just that helped me to live harmony with anyone
Wow.
I came across in my life. And during my childhood, I believe my interaction in my life with my granddad and my grandmom has shaped a lot of what I am today and laid the foundation. Especially my granddad, he was a legend for me, and he was a devoted Christian, an Orthodox Christian in Ethiopia. Mostly the majority of the community follows the Orthodox Christian, and he was also a follower of that. But it's not about the religion or something. But I've seen how practically he lived that kind of life for ours. I never see anyone, or I never met anyone like him in any aspect of my life so far. The way I remember it was as when I was like very young. They live like 1 hour from my hometown, Harar. And their city is called Kombolcha. So we usually during the weekend, whenever there is a summer break, we used to go to their house, and we spend time there. And every Sunday, like he woke me up like 4 a.m., 3 a.m. in the morning to go
Wow.
to church. Yeah, to go.
Wow.
And as a kid, I never refused to go to the church at that early time, because I've seen how he devoted he was, and it was joy. And I used to always look forward to that time to go to the church with him. It was dark, and we just talk along the way, and we go to the church. We spend the prayer and the worship time together in the Orthodox church. And when we come back from the church, always like he has like, if he has like $100, like Ethiopian $100 note, he will make sure he will have like $10, $10 of the $100 or the 100, so that he would give it to like 10 people. Like I've always seen him like giving like to people relentlessly, whether he has one birr or $1 or 10 Ethiopian per, he will just give to anyone. And when he gets to his home, he will make sure like he didn't have any pocket money in his pocket
remaining. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nothing will remain. And that's the lifestyle that I have seen for so many years. And not only he give money, but like even I remember one day, like he has his coat on, and he uses like, he's a very old person, so he uses a traditional a throw kind of thing that you wear in Ethiopia. Maybe you have seen it when you visit Tigray.
Yes.
So it's made of cotton, and it's a traditional one, and it's like cultural clothes, And then when he comes on the road, like he's seen someone that needs clothes, so he just removed everything that he has and he gave it to that person.
Wow.
And I remember their house was full of people every time. Like people come to their house to eat, to drink coffee, to have a chat. It's just like, and every time he has devoted time for prayer. Every single day. Like if he's not in the church, then he's praying during the night, or even like during the day as well. He has these prayer times, and he was consistent enough to do that. And I remember he was singing. He was a very old person, but he sings like in a very beautiful sound and all that. And I think now looking back at my life, I think that shaped for who I am, what kind of values that I have in terms of like how practical he was. He was not just religious person, or not to be trying to be a good person. That's who he was, and that he believed in in his core identity. And for me, it helped me to live life, or to see life in a more practical way, and to give what I have without expecting anything from anyone. Like most, like many poor people, like he associates like with people that are not on his state or something like that. Mostly with the poor people, he gives to people with, whether it's money, a resource, anything that he has, like he just gives. And sometimes even my grandma, she used to take the money from him, because he would just give everything that he has. He didn't expect anything back from the people that he gave those kind of things. So I think that helped me even now with my work, like to have that compassionate heart to people,
Yeah.
to understand like people need is much important than my need, sometimes my personal need. And people like would ask me like, how do you just because like I never um I never think about the salary that I would get or the
Yeah.
that I would get or anything like that. So people get sometimes confused. Like there must be something that you do this thing like sacrificing your life or something. But it's not about the thing that I will get out of it. It's just about what I give, what potential or the resource that I have that I can give or share to people that makes people like um, hopeful again or
Yeah.
break some change in their life. So indeed, the same goes to with my grandmom as well. She was also a giver, and in the house, like most people, minimum like 20 people are were in the house, like all the time, eating, drinking. She cooks for them, and all those kind of things. And those were precious for me. They passed away, unfortunately. Um, but like, yeah, I don't want to be emotional, but
Yeah.
I have seen um, a true meaning of humanity
Yeah.
in them. So that's the major part of my life that I always cherish. And at the same time, my mom, so my granddad and my grandmom, they are from my mom's side. So my mom, she's a pediatrician, and my dad, he's a retired nurse.
Mhm.
And with my mom, she has like a private clinic. She works for the hospital in Harar town, and also she teaches like the university, like home for at the university, and at the same time she has a private clinic to to support like the community.
Mhm.
And their private clinic, like it's not like a business. Now looking at back those years, I'm like, okay, if you have a clinic, if you are like a pediatrician doctor, then it's like it should be a business. But for her, it's not registered nonprofit, but it was. I can say it was a nonprofit, almost a nonprofit type of setup, because for a consultation fee or for visitation fee, the fee was minimal.
Right.
She said that because she grew up in the rural part of Ethiopia as well, and she came to the urban city Harar to pursue her education, but she has the experience of how the rural people or the poor people have, struggled too with their economic status. So she always makes sure like people don't get pressured to get, to get money to get medical consultation from her service.
Yeah.
The service were minimal, and sometimes they were free. Most of the time they were free. And people from the different part of the rural area of Ethiopia, Harar, in the nearby Harar area, they will come to, they used to come to her clinic because of her fee, and
Yeah.
she pays for their medical expenses and all that kind of things from out of her pocket. And and sometimes I remember like the people from the rural areas, they came to Harar, and maybe due to their laboratory result or the medication process, it might need they might need to stay more than like 1 day, 2 days, or 3 days in the city, and they can't afford to stay in a hotel or something like that. So in that case,
Yeah.
she will bring all those people to our house. And I
Wow.
remember they were staying with us, and it's not only they were staying, but she just sits around, like in the middle of them, and she just chats with them, talks with them. And those people are like, she never knew them. Like she just wanted to support them in any ways as she can. So
That's
that's
incredible.
I grew up like always my family, like always like giving, supporting people without expecting anything. And I didn't realize that even I have noticed these things while I was growing up. But now looking at back, and especially even when I was preparing for this podcast, I was just like, thinking, and that thing is the foundation laid the foundation for who I am today.
Yeah.
And,
It's a
yeah,
powerful legacy
it
to
is.
have that degree of like radical generosity. radical hospitality. And as somebody who's known you for many years now, I can see that running like in your veins, like it's your heartbeat even.
Yeah, exactly. It comes naturally to me. Like it comes naturally. It's just like if I can live like this forever, I can live like this forever.
Yeah.
I didn't want to change that. So yeah, that's yeah.
Was there a time where you can identify like just a clarity of knowing what your personal mission was going to be?
So like growing up, I remember when I was like 8th grade or something like that, I used to think for myself, like when I grow up, I want to serve like poor people. I didn't know like I didn't know the sector, if it was water or education, but I know I want to help like poor people. And that has been, I used to always think about that and meditate about that. But then after maybe we'll talk later on, but after my encounter with Matt Damon and we started Drop of Water, and then after that, we built the first water wheel, and then after we built the first water wheel, I graduated and I joined like my profession, like my engineering career, and I was working on a road construction project. I remember.
I can't picture that, by the way.
Exactly, no one can picture that, even me. Like, and it's interesting you mentioned that because, like, when I used to go to the work area, like, always, almost every single morning, I remember saying, like, this is not my place. Like, I knew, like, deep inside, I was very young. It was like 15 years ago. This happened like 15 years ago. Yeah. But at that time, I didn't have any mentor, anyone to guide me or something like that. In terms of making personal decisions, like that kind of decisions. But I knew, like, I was not happy. Like, and I graduated and I got job immediately after that. So it was like a success, compared to my that I get a good salary. The construction industry was booming, so you get a good money, and you will have, if you have a license, even you can partner with others, and you'll get like million per projects per group. That was one of the incentives that the government was providing at that time. So it was like a good kind of scenario that I was in. But I was not happy at all. Every morning I used to take a taxi. It was a bit far that I was working, where I was working. And I said, like, no, I must do something for that community because I have seen the problem. The problem was severe, and one water well was not enough,
Yeah.
Because the intention was, when we started Drop of Water, was just, okay, before we get to graduate, we were students, so just let's build just one water well. But then after that time, like, I knew one water well was not enough at all. So that's when I start saying, like, okay, this is not where I am supposed to go in this direction. Construction career. And I didn't know what to do because there was no nonprofit that was organized or something like that. There was nothing. It was just an idea. And of course, the movement has continued in the campus. But one day I realized, okay, I have to quit my job and resume my engagement with Drop of Water as a volunteer. And that day, it was a Saturday, I remember, and I was in the field. I was on the site, on the construction site, and like as normal days, I go there to work. I went there to work, and then I said, like, I don't know, I can't.
This is it.
Yeah. And I just grabbed my bag, my purse, and I just left the
Seriously?
Yeah, I did that. And I remember the project manager, he called me and because he needed something. And I told him, like, there is something that I need to do for my life. I will do that formally on Monday. I will bring a resignation letter, but I can't work anymore. That's what I told him. And
I can't spend another day here.
another day, yeah. And he really wanted to understand me, but at the same time to support me. Like he said, like, you don't have any work, you don't have any salary now. You have to come back, you have to work. We'll arrange something. And I said, no, I know, thank you, but no. And I remember I went straight to a cafe around Magananya, a place called Magananya, and I sat down and I was like, that was the happiest day of my life. I still remember the moment, like as if I have accomplished something big, I just lost my job, So that day I knew, like, okay, this is what, my mission or purpose in my life would be. Like, if this gives me this much satisfaction, just quitting my job, and even the idea of, like, me trying to continue with the work of drop of water gave me this much excitement and relief and peace inside. Then I knew, okay, this is I'm on the right path. And no one told me to do this thing at that time. I think God was counseling me, even me without knowing, like God was working through me. I think that was the moment that shaped also my journey with a drop of water and who I am today.
Yeah, that's incredible. I'm literally trying to imagine you just being there and like I just can't spend another minute here. What was your family's reaction? Because I know, just as you were saying, what a blessing, and it's like the dream for any recent college graduate to leave school and have a job, and a good job. So what did your parents say?
First, I didn't tell them because
Really?
because I didn't know how to tell them.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and it was eventually that they found out, like, I was that.
How can I ask how they found out?
Actually, I told them.
Okay.
Told them as the one who told them, but they were like trying to sneak, like, how is? They keep asking me, how is work, and then, like, I couldn't answer, like, because I didn't want to lie to them, and I'm like, oh, yes, that's fine, or something like that. But then,
Sure.
are you okay? Like, are you, like, having some problem at work or something like that? And they said, I know that is. They know about the program, like about the drop of water. When I started in the university, they were supportive. So I told them, and I told them that, like, I want to continue with that one. And they didn't understand fully at that time, because is it like organization now? Like they were so confused. But at the end, of course, always your family, they would support me. And they stand beside me. Then my brother as well, my family, my dad as well. So the first part of telling them was the hardest part, but after that they were supportive.
Yeah, I think we underestimate the amount of courage it takes to say that first yes. It's easier to navigate, like when you fast forward that 10, 15 years and there is progress or even great success in some cases in the organizations that we lead or the work that we're doing. But in those first starting days, when you are accepting to go down a path that is less traveled, or you are accepting to give your life, in your case, you're giving your life to a kind of work that is an outpouring from who you are. It's not celebrated. And so I just want to take a minute to honor just how much courage younger Hermella was expressing in the boldness to pack up your bag and leave the construction site. And even if you had to, avoid the hard conversation with your family for a little bit, you still stayed the course. I would love to hear, like, what were those early days like for you, and because I know it wasn't easy. And where did you find the strength and the will and the resource to stay the course?
And as you said, like, even like my friends, some people that knows me, like they thought like I was crazy.
Yeah.
You quit, like, this kind of job, it has money and all that. Like, at least first you have to get another salary to, and all those things. So it was a bold move, I believe. And those early days were like, first I was excited, like, because and I remember that was when we met with Elfaz as well, and not only met but our partnership or our relationship has grown at that time, and it was exactly.
Tell us who Elfaz is, because some of the people listening will not know.
It's hard to put Elfaz in words. So Elfaz is our program director. He's a program director at Drop of Water, and for me, he's like a colleague, a brother, and a cheerleader at the same time, and
also a very servant-driven heart and leader. Yeah,
100%. He's just. I sometimes say like we are a copy of each other. Like sometimes we go into different places, we ask it the same question, and our reaction would be the same.
The same.
Yeah, it would just like carbon copy of each other. And I have, we have the same values and commitments and servanthood. And and also he took like the greatest part of my life, like how he shaped who I am today as well.
Yeah.
We met almost like 14, 15 years ago when we started Drop of Water. He was also a student in Makele University, and he was volunteering at Drop of Water. That's how we get to know each other. And after we graduate, they were the one who took the leadership role of Drop of Water movement in the campus. He and his friends. So after I quit my job, so I was communicating the Makele team, like the Elfas team, about like the work and everything that we need to do. And I remember he will make sure like I get like a best service when I get to Makele. And he will facilitate for me to get air ticket from the Makele University to get sponsorships. And I remember one time, because he didn't have a car back then, even the organization, we're not even formally organized, so we didn't have any field vehicle or something. So at the airport, I think he was welcoming with motorbike. He came out. And we were running in the city with a motorbike. We stood like to go to different offices, like government offices. We used to go together. Like we used to be twins. Like people think like we're like brother and sisters. Like because we were together all the time. Yeah, and it's so amazing how God used that time to shape and mold each other and embed this foundational like confidence that we have about each other. And we didn't know at that time like how far Drop of Water will go, or if I would be in the staff, or if I could, even for me, if I could be staff, because we were just both of us volunteers, you know?
Yeah.
At that time, it was like through those low moments, we were not financially,
supported.
Yeah, and supported. We didn't have any funding and all that, but the commitment that Elfas shows right now was the same when I know him like 15 years ago as a volunteer.
Yeah.
And the kid, I didn't want to be
emotional.
And then, and it was just the same. And the respect that he has for me and for the work was like constant for the last 15 years. And always like he has my back, and he would say like, we can do this, like whenever there is a challenge or something. He has this great
encourager.
He encouraged me, and he has a confidence, and it was a purely divine connection that how we intertwined our life together, and how he shaped even the form of Drop of Water, how God shaped the form of Drop of Water using the two of us as a pillar in our faith in God, in everything that we do, you know. So it has been such a great journey, you know. So So at that time, during the early stage of like living my construction career and pursuing this Drop of Water with Elfas and his team, as I said, there was excitement, and of course, whenever I go, I get that, because I used to live in Addis Ababa, and the program or the project was in the Tigray area, so I had to fly back and forth, you know.
Yeah.
And whenever I'm in the Tigray with the part and the team, I'm so excited, and and then when I came back to Addis, like I have to I remember going to different nonprofit organizations and saying like, okay, then my name is Hermella, we have this ambition, we want to work. And at that time, we just built, I think, the first better wheel only. And sometimes we get like, oh, the people like, I was young, I was female, so they were like, oh, that's a good thing or something. But we didn't get like any financial support from those organizations. I was trying to send emails and all that, and I was bold enough. I would go to any organization, like I can knock their door and I can set up a meeting and talk to them. So the response, it was not 100% like perfect. So that was a bit challenging at the same time, and also financially, I was challenged as well. Because I get a job, I don't have any other support. So one of my relatives, I remember sharing my vision to him, and I told him like, even when I was about to quit, I told him like he was the only one who supported me, like in terms of like, oh, go ahead, just you can do this or something like that. He was an encourager for me, but at the same time, after I quit my job, he was the only one, I think, he understood where I was coming from, and even trying to support me financially. And at the same time, I said I have to start another like part-time jobs. I used to tutor kids. I don't know if many people know about this.
Yeah.
I used to tutor kids English. Like they were like at a adoption center place.
Mm-hmm.
They were like American people who wants to take kids to go to the US, and for them to engage with them in an English language. They were looking for someone to to teach the kids just basic some English lessons. So I used to do that, and they pay me some amount of money, and it was flexible schedule, so it would help me to still work.
Continue doing the work. Yeah.
And I also joined like another sourcing company as well to work as as a part-time officer. And also the same adoption company, they offered me another program related because they have like a developmental wing component of their organization. So since they know my passion for Drop of Water, like they said, you can also work here as a part-time, like in 3 days per week with a flexible schedule with the developmental programs. So I used to do that as well. So many things. I tried to financially support myself as well. So that was a challenging part, I guess. And for people to believe that without seeing anything, without having an office or something, to believe that actually we will do something for the community. That was the hardest part.
Yeah, I think there's this misconception that could be out there for some that you have a vision or a calling that you really know is so clear for you to pursue, and there could be an expectation that things will just unfold, and they do, but often it comes just even as you're sharing this, I'm hearing you share about a life that was marked by great sacrifice, great resilience, great perseverance, courage, boldness, and it did not come easy. However, still along the way, there was provision that was made for you. And it didn't always come in the way that you would expect, but it still carried you through the journey. When would you say things started coming together? Like you actually saw the vision starting to take root?
So I keep doing what I was trying to do in Addis, and also the team in the Tigray in FAS and his team, they were doing such a great job, and we got like another donation from the university to do another 2 more water wheels in 2011, I guess. So that was a good thing as well. But then, as you said, like things things didn't go as I have planned them in my original plan or thinking. And even like I remember there was this time I used to wear like one shoes, and and from going to one place to another place, I literally like the sole of the shoes has gone
worn out.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
It was
Wow.
yeah, honestly. And people wouldn't know that because I used to work like to different organizations, knocking free door. And and whenever I have time, like I always want to Google about water and something like that. So I was invested in it, but I was not getting the resource that I was planning. And then I start like fighting with my life, like, okay,
What am I doing?
what am I doing? Like, and I start asking God, like, what is this? Like.
Mm.
And that's when I always give credit to one of my friends. And he called me because we used to meet with my friends once in a while. And I just lost connection with any of them. And he called me and what happened? Like it seems like you lost and he wants to meet me and have a coffee. And of course, I said yes. And I went to meet him and we were just chatting. And I told him like, I quit my job and did that and all this, but it's not going in the way that I was planning. And it was okay. I mean, as I said, even the movement in the campus was going in a great way, but somehow, I mean, maybe it's compared to the vision that I have or the aspiration that I have, it felt like at that time I was having like the darkest moment, like as if the world was collapsing on me or something. Like it was so much exaggerated in my mind because I think the energy that I brought was so much and it was not balanced with
Balancing.
receiving. Yeah. And I told him like, and he told me like, okay, there is this church that I'm visiting every Sunday. So if you want, like, why don't you come? And I've known God for so many years. As I said, I had this foundational Christianity journey with my family, with my granddad, with my grandmom. So, mm, okay, I was his client at the first, and they said, okay, let me see and go. Let me go and see it. Then I went to this church, and I remember, and I asked God before I go to the church. I went to the church. I asked God, I don't want just to change religion or something like that. I want life full of you, and if possible, just speak something to me through whoever is speaking today. Speak something for my life if I am doing the right thing or something like that. I remember I prayed that, and I went to the church, and the preacher was um, preaching one verse, and it was like first seek his kingdom in righteousness, and everything else will be added to you. And that verse changed like the way that I think everything. I was like, always trying to. Uh, how can I explain it? Like always trying to do things effort like to do things by my own. Like I know God, I love God, but I say like, okay, now I will just leave everything and I'll just pursue God. I'll just study His Word and all that. And almost for more than I think 6 months or something, I was just studying the Bible. I was just praying. I was just like, I was happy after that service. I was happy, like, okay, I think like the first thing should be prioritizing God. It was not like I was not prioritizing from before that, but the pressure was off from me. Like this is God's work. This is God's work. It's not my
He will
work.
take care of it.
He will take exactly. He will take care of it. So that assurance gave me a rest and peace in my life. And and then I told you like I was going to different places and emailing and all that. And after that moment, and after I just leave everything aside, they they start communicating with me. They start emailing me. I want to partner with you and all that. They keep inviting me to their offices, and so things start to change after that.
That's really amazing. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that. I'd love to know, is there one or two lessons or what one or two pieces of advice would you give to someone who is perhaps listening to this that is in the place that you were 15 years ago with a clear vision, a clear call, a clear mission through an organization to change the lives of communities that are affected by, in your case, the lack of access to safe water? What would you say to someone who is responding to that based on the journey that you walked?
Eh, 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 The first would be like perseverance is very important, along with resilience and being committed. Like for us, for me, and for us as with my team and as a drop of water, what kept us throughout? And you were asking me that question as well. What kept us consistent throughout these years was the cause, like what we have seen on the ground. And up to now, it never changed. Like every time, it's all about the community. It's all about what we have seen, witnessed on the ground, like with the community, the school kids. I always it's a fresh for me every time when I go to the field. It excites me. At the same time, it's heartbreaking for me to see the people living in that kind of situation. And always my mind is set on those things, not like. And we started from that, not from having an office, having a strategic plan document or some. I'm not saying those things are not important, but that helped us to sustain, like as I said, to preserve as well. Um, when I go to when I used to go to the different offices and knock, like I didn't have an office, I didn't have anything, but I always pitch like the problem, like this is what we've seen. We want to respond to this cause. We want to make sure like we give something back to their community. So having that strong like foundation at the beginning helped us to sustain us all these years, and always to have, it's not easy. The journey is not easy, as you said, but it will keep you always on track. Like when you see those people, when you think of those people, you just woke up, you have the courage to wake up every morning to be there, to have the resilience and the perseverance to continue. So that thing I think is very important. And the second one is, and for me, that's what worked for me. And this is not my work. This is work.
That's a big one.
Serving the community. Yes, that I'm just serving the community, and I'm just a vessel. I've seen God's print in everything that we do in the organization. So many miracles, so many things. Not only the organization has evolved and grown throughout the past years, but even me personally have changed and evolved.
Absolutely.
Years. Yeah, God used this thing to even to mold me into who I am today, into His likeness as well. So always to think like this is His work. This is we're just servant. It's not my. I'm not like the owner of the organization or something. I'm just serving here. So that helped me as well. Whenever there's something, it's easier. Like God, we need this. It's easier to get to Him than trying to figure out with myself.
And I hear even in that the legacy of your grandfather, your grandmother, and your mother, that open hand, that ready to give away, that realization that it is not you, it is not about you, and that you are, as you said, a vessel, that there are things that you are given to give away, even of yourself. So you mentioned Matt Damon. I just want to go back to that because I know that part of the story, but I would love for those listening to hear it, because you had a connection to him up over 15 years ago and recently again. So can you tell us a bit about that intersection?
Yeah. So I was like, so I grew up in Harar. I studied my high school there, and I joined McKinney University for my bachelor degree. That's where I studied my civil engineering. So while I was a third year university student, we heard that Matt Damon was in town, and me and my other 6 friends. And those are like okay. Sorry. So we heard that Matt Damon was in town, and me and my other 6 friends were so excited to meet him because he's a celebrity. He's a top Hollywood movie star. So we had that chance. It was so crazy how we managed to meet him. It was so dramatic, and still.
Please share.
Yeah. So the first thing was we had to cut class to go to meet him because
Okay.
he was in town for a short period of time. So if we didn't miss class, then we wouldn't meet him. So we cut that. We went to the hotel that he was staying with. He was staying in Aksum Hotel, a hotel called Aksum Hotel. And so we were chatting like so loudly, like what, like we were so crazy. And we told them, like the people in the hotel, they told us like he was in a meeting in the meeting hall, and we were outside sitting and waiting for him. And there were another group of people, Habesha people, sitting next to us. They like older people. They were not students, and they were like looking at us because we were chatting. We were saying like he would like guessing things who would take the picture with him, what if Mrs. says no, all those things. And we were laughing and we were so loud, and those people they were looking at us. And then one of the guy, I have a reason that I mentioned this story, because one of the guys, he said like, hey students, are you looking for Matt Damon? And we said, yeah. How did he know? Yeah, we're looking for him. He just passed you. While we were chatting, he was passing.
Oh my goodness.
And we didn't even see him. None of us noticed that Matt Damon passed. So we ran over the table and ran beside him to meet him. It was so crazy. And we met him at the reception. So he was about to go to his room, and then we catch him right in the reception. And we had a chance to meet him, hug him, and even have a picture with him. And all that, we were just so excited. Some of us, we were shivering, and all that.
Wow.
It was like so much excitement. And not only us, but other students were also there from the different campus as well. So that was the first encounter. And then those people who told us like Matt Damon has passed, they were from an organization, local organization called Relief Society of Tigray. And they're the one who brought Matt Damon to Ethiopia. So they know his schedule, they know everything. And so they followed us, and we met at the reception as well. And they were laughing at us. You guys are so crazy. And they keep saying that. And they're the one who took a picture of us with him as well. And they told us like, we asked them like when he's leaving, and they said he will leave tomorrow. So, and the same guy, he told us like, if you want to meet him, why don't you come to the airport? And I said, okay. And the next day, we ran to the airport to meet him again and have a picture with him as well. And some of the picture that we have, especially on our website, that was a picture that was taken on that day at the airport. So we met him again. We had that chat, and then he left. He just checked in and he left. We were so excited. And when we were getting back from the airport, and those people again offered us a ride, because they knew that the Tigray people, they are very hospitable. They like students. They want to support students. They know we are far from family. So they said, you don't have a car, right? So why don't you join us? Because they have a field car, and take us back to the campus. And that's when we asked, like, by the way, like, why is Matt Damon in Ethiopia? Like, we were so excited until that moment. But then that's when, after that, we asked, like, the real question, like, why he was in Ethiopia. And that's when they explained to us about the work of Relief Society of Tigray and the work of Water.org, Matt Damon's organization. He co-founded Water.org. And they told us, like, he was in Ethiopia, in Tigray, specifically to support water-related projects or programs. And that strikes something. What? Like, we live right here in the community.
And you didn't know.
Yeah, like how people were suffering because of lack of access to clean drinking water in that severity level. We may know like there is a problem even in the urban areas, but we didn't know the severity of it. And that's when we said, okay, we have to do something, for that community. And the Relief Society of Tigray people, they mentioned like, why don't you come to our office so that we can show you, we can take you to the field, and so that you can see how deep the problem is. And I always give credit to them as well. They didn't undermine us, thinking like we are a student or something, but just really to show us their work and the problem that exists on the ground. So they're the one who arranged the field visit for us to go to the field and witness how the people were suffering. And also another life-changing moment was that moment that I visited the first village in the Ulan part of Tigray. That when I witnessed like how severe was the problem, I was so shocked. I was in tears. Like people actually drink this kind of water. It was very dirty. It was like just so I can't even imagine it. The color was so dark, grayish, and people, especially young kids, were on the line to get that water. And I keep asking, like, "Are you going for real to drink this?" And they were like, "Like the community, why are you even asking? Like, this is like, of course, this is what we drink." And we said like, and I remember talking to one of the women, and she said like she carried a jerry can, and she said like she would travel, like she was just pointing the area, and it was so far, and you're going to travel all the way to there with carrying the jerry can. And she said yes. And that was the moment, like we have to. My son woke up. So that was the moment when I said, we have to do something. And of course, together with my friends, we co-founded Drop of Water with that inception to respond to that community and to support that community.
Yeah. That's amazing. A chance encounter with a celebrity
Yes.
was also a seed planted that opened the door for now your lifelong mission.
Yes.
To make safe water available to Ethiopians. That's such a powerful story, Hermella. Thank you so much for sharing all of it, so much of yourself today.
Yes.
It's such an honor to be able to know you, to serve alongside you over the last almost 8 years in the Bloodwater Partnership. I'm just so inspired by you. Stand out to me as one of the few leaders who really takes on that radical generosity as a part of who you are and how you live. And it's not just in the work that you do, by the way, because I've experienced that from you on a personal level. And it's such an honor. It's such an honor to know you and to call you friend as much as colleague, and like co-labor in the bigger work that we are all hoping to contribute towards. So thank you so much. Please share with us all the ways that we can stay connected with you, with Drop of Water. And I think we should pause here and then continue with our conversations at another time on another topic. Any last words before we close?
Last word, I would really want to say, by the way, Bloodwater is also a great part of my life. I remember how Bloodwater came at the right pivotal moment of Drop of Water journey, and how you guys shape the way we operate, the way we think, the way how the organization was fashioned in you can't even imagine how you have impacted, how Bloodwater has impacted not only the beneficiaries, the communities that we serve, but even us personally as a staff and also as an organization. So I really want to say thank you for each one of you, and for Bloodwater to choose us as your partner and to support us relentlessly. I feel like you are a family for us. So thank you.
We feel exactly the same. You are a leader who has shaped the way that we as an organization work and partner. And like I said, on a very personal level, you have taught me so much about the intersection of faith and vocation and service, and how to give of self with such abundance, and to see the provision that comes from that. It's me to say thank you. So thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Okay, until next time, we will see you soon.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for having me.